righty, so we're in lesson 2 of review on equations and solutions. So we're going to use the same strategy for both, but it's a slightly different approach. I'm just going to go over a couple of the questions you saw in the quiz. I'm going to start with question number 7. So this is the strategy to use for equations, meaning I have two sides set equal to each other, but neither side has been squared. So I will just have one solution versus two solutions. You see a little 2 next to the x, you have two solutions. You see no 2, one solution. So I have to make sure that I input, I'm going to input both sides of the equation into desmos. And remember though, you have to use the value of x when you are doing this. So you must use x when you are using this strategy. Even if there's an m or a y or a z or an l, you have to use the letter x when you make these equations. I just put y equals, just a good practice, but it was creating the line without it. Now I have both sides. I have the left-hand side of the equal sign in desmos. I have the right-hand side of the equal sign in desmos. And now I'm just looking for my point of intersection. Luckily, desmos kind of gravitates towards it. And my solution or my answer is going to be right here at 21, positive 21. I am only going to show the one on that particular, here, I'll also show number 10. So here's an equation where they have b as my variable, but I am still going to make sure that I have x instead of b. So I need to always use x instead of b. I'm going to type it in just like I see on the left-hand side, push enter, y equals, and what do I see on the right-hand side? So I have my two separate sides as separate equations in desmos. So y equals the left-hand side, y equals the right-hand side, making sure to use the letter x as my variable input. My letter y is the output. And I can find my solution by just kind of clicking right here. And I want the one where it's actually intersecting. Let me make sure I get up close because I don't want to have this one wrong. It seems like a weird solution. All right, it is just a weird solution. So the value of x would be that negative 0.571. So that would be the solution to that equation. All right, now we're going to go into when I have quadratics. So when you see a little 2, when I see a little 2. All right, I'm going to do, I'll do 2 of them, but if you need to stop the video after 1, that's fine. Again, I'm going to use that same strategy. I'm putting in both sides of the equation. So 2x squared plus 15. And I'll just go ahead and use the best practice of doing y equals, mainly because if you have a solid number, it won't graph it for you. Y equals negative 11x. Okay, so I have both sides, the left-hand side, the right-hand side. And if you take a look, I actually see 2 gray dots, and there's always going to be 2 solutions for a quadratic. So I want to have both negative 3 and negative 2 as my answers. So I would have D, has both the negative 3 and the negative 2. And luckily desmos kind of like gravitates towards those intersection points. I'm going to do one more. And I'm going to do, let's do this one. This one says the negative solution of the equation. So for quadratics, again, the one with the little 2 on top, we always are going to have 2 answers, but this time they only want the negative answer. They only are wanting the negative answer. So I'm going to put in the left-hand side, the right-hand side. And I see that y equals 685. That means that that line is going to be way, 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 way up high. There it is. And I have solution number 1, solution number 2. They want the negative solution. So I would put in negative 13. That would be the correct solution. Okay. And that concludes lesson 2. Go ahead and do a retake on your Edulastic and then the practice on Google Forms.